Are you happy with your job? Does your workplace make you feel satisfied? Do you have that excitement when you go to the workplace? Or maybe not. One of the interesting topics in organizational behavior is job satisfaction. Why is it so important to know and to understand what makes an employee feel satisfied? Why is it so important that you need to consider the welfare of your employees? Again, as we go back to our previous discussion, the people make the place. And there are a lot of factors that affect employee satisfaction, and it's not only money. The problem here is people think that money is the only or the ultimate denominator, the ultimate factor that causes satisfaction for employees. So let's discuss a few. Number one, personality. Personality is very important at work. There are those people who have happy disposition. So wherever they go, they bring that disposition with them, and they, what do you call this one? They radiate that disposition to the workplace. And even though there are problems in the workplace, it seems like wala dili sila affected. But there are also people, probably the opposite is true. There are those people nga portray o positive or happy disposition. Probably they have a sad disposition, or maybe ingana ra gud sila mosulod sa opisina gamugot. Have you seen people like those? Yung inigsulod sa opisina or inigsulod nimo sa establishment, customer ka, murag ma-feel na nimo nga it seems like you are not welcome, and it seems like lahi ang vibes dire. So, napo ingana no? Nga bahalag tsada kayong offer sa work, tsada ang pay, tsada ang environment. It's just that they are not satisfied because sila mismo dili satisfied sa ilang kagalingon. Number two, person environment fit. Muna siya kuan, muna siya very important, no? Going back to our example earlier, what if you work in a hospitality company, let's say a hotel, then you have a disposition nga very gloomy, no? Naka sa front desk, for example, gibutang ka sa front desk kay ga na short og tawo or kulangan og tawo, then gibutang ka sa front desk nga mugot ra ka dito. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. So, what's the feeling ana inimo if you're the customer? Mag-inquire ka dito then nasa front desk na gamugot. So, companies like Zappos, for example, during interviews, they really need to know if the person fits in the what? In the job. They ask this question, in a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you? Because the more weird you are, meaning the more creative ka. So sa culture sa Zappos, they honor creativity, they honor peculiarity. So if you have that disposition, you'll get hired. So that's for the person environment fit. The third one is job characteristics. What is this? Job characteristics is unsa ba gitagaan ba ka og enough autonomy to do your job, because there are those or there are people who don't want to be micromanaged. Kana ganing every now and then i-supervise ka, oh kamusta na, oh kuan na. May mga employees ako, I'm like that. I don't want to be micromanaged. Just tell me the output and I will do everything in my ability, then I'll give you the output. So if the person feels that his uniqueness and his space is being considered, then probably the employee will feel satisfied. The next factor is the psychological contract. It's very important that you need to, once you become managers, it's very important that you will understand people before they come into that organization, before they apply for that job, or pagsulod nila sa opisina, first day of the job, they have this expectations in mind. And sometimes, unsay ilang expectations are not the same as in reality. So there is failed expectations. So kung ingana ang case, it will create resistance and it will create friction. So probably gi-expect siya nga okay ang environment, okay ang workplace, pag abot niya dito, dili di ay, no? Another one is organizational justice. It affects your job satisfaction. If you notice that people are being treated unfairly, so na favoritism, na unfair treatment, it makes people become unsatisfied sa work or dissatisfied sa workplace. It's very important that if you're a leader, you have to treat your people equally and fairly so that there will be no professional jealousy or personal jealousy. That's very important so that harmonious lang ang relationship sa workplace. Another one is the relationships at work. Kini. This is very common kay usually pag dili nakaganahan sa imong mga office mates, na kay problema sa imong boss, na kay problema sa imong workmates, this becomes a problem. Why? It will lower down your motivation. No? Kanang inigsulod nimo sa opisina na nakita nimo ang iniglunis ba? Inigsulod nimo sa opisina, then you saw someone that I don't know, that person did not do anything to you, but it's just that the moment you see that person, niagi ang weekend, buhi pa dahil siya. May nga na ang mga feeling. So, as much as possible, if you will become the manager, you have to take care of your employees and you create a climate of openness and honoring diversity, a climate of appreciating one another. So it's your role and responsibility as a manager. And this one, stress. If your employees get burned out because probably it's a workload, the ultimate effect would be probably they will resign. Pag asset kayo na nimo ang tao sa company, sometimes you need to consider also the workload that you are giving them. Okay? Stress, nowadays, the stress level of people is quite high. Yeah. The last one that affects job satisfaction is, guess what? Work-life balance. We need a life, right? You don't want to work all your life. You need a life outside sa work. But there are people who also consider their work as their life. Yeah, no problem. But for most of us, we need a work-life balance. No? Can you imagine if na kay balls dire, glass balls and rubber balls? The glass balls are your health and your relationships. The rubber balls are your work, career, reputation, privileges, perks, whatever. So if you throw them all up in the air and then pagkahulog na, the rubber balls will just simply bounce. But paghulog ato mga glass balls, your health and your family, your relationships, wala na, buwak na dyan na. And it will follow that affected na itong tanan. Okay raman kung mawala po di imong work, pwede raman bounce back. So nowadays, it's very important once you become a manager, you have to consider the work-life balance of your employees. Dili lang kay work. That's why it's being said that all work, no play makes John want a holiday.